internet, it's Katie, and I have said that phrase at least like 57 times because I'm having one of those days where I can just not do life. My brain will just not process my thoughts fast enough from my mouth. Okay, I refuse to let this whole thing ruin this video because it's going to be good. So today's video has been a week in the making, probably longer than that, but in my mind it has been a week in the making because this past week I have been on 11 airplanes. 11 airplanes has given me 11 opportunities to just sit in silence with my phone powered off in airplane mode with no social media, nothing. Just me and several thousand perfect strangers sitting on an airplane 35,000 feet above the universe. Or not the universe, that was not politically correct. The United States. So that has been my lifestyle this past week. I've decided that I wanted to make a talking video today where I basically just laid on you once again all of my thoughts, everything that I have been thinking lately, pondering, questioning. Some pretty weird stuff goes on up here. Turns out a lot of you guys might be thinking the same exact things. So I decided that I want to reinvent myself as a YouTuber. I basically want to be the person that says the things that are hard to say that everyone's thinking. This video is entitled Faking It, and no, it is not about sex. Okay, let's continue. So I'm gonna start out by discussing my biggest fears. There's two. First and foremost is living a less than extraordinary life. I have this huge irrational fear of just like being dead and looking back. I guess you can't really look back when you're dead. Thinking back to all the things that I missed out on, or like opportunities where I could have done something cool but I didn't, or I held back because I was shy or just nervous about it. That's my biggest fear, is just living a life where I didn't go the extra mile for everything I did and go after everything I want. Second of all is living a life where people, like you guys, think that I'm perfect. I don't know, it just sounds kind of weird when I say it out loud. I feel like in the 21st century, you know, as a millennial, which is what we all are, or most of us are that are watching this, you know, it's so easy to just have this instinct of wanting to correct all of our flaws and just cover up everything that makes us different. We have this desire to make ourselves look either perfect or kind of just normal and just to blend in. And my biggest fear is having people look at me and think, oh my gosh, goals. Yesterday in my insomnia fit, I actually had the experience of watching all of the Jay Alvarez and what's the other girl? Alexis Ren, all of those videos. You know, the like perfect summer, like perfect romance videos and whatever. And you know, to be honest, they're very well made videos, and like aside the whole like perfect life portrayal thing, the videos are pretty epic, I will say that. And just reading the comments on those videos makes my heart so sad because people truly look at these two individuals and think, oh my god, they are goals. I hate that word, first of all, goals, oh my god. Like if another person is your goal, then you have a very, very warped perception of life because you should not be living your life with some other person as a goal. You should have goals like running a marathon or, I don't know, getting an A on a paper or something. Maybe those are a little bit, you know, superficial, but like bigger goals. You should have huge, explosive goals, and your goals should not be physical human beings that are walking around on a street. From a YouTuber slash like blogger perspective, you guys see about 10 minutes of my life every week. 10 minutes. You see the good 10 minutes at that for the most part. You don't see all of the nasty stuff. You don't see all of the hard times and all of the bad stuff that I don't want to put online. But aside from all that, that was kind of just a little sidebar of why I'm making this video. So now we're officially over that hump. So instead of making a mushy gushy happy video today, I've decided, okay, not saying that my video is going to be like depressing or anything, but I've decided that I wanted to make a very real, very raw video where you guys see how my life truly is right now. And not even trying to put myself on a pedestal and say, oh my gosh, you guys should worship me, whatever. That's ridiculous. I feel like all of us as humans should kind of do this, you know, should just lay on people, hey, this is how I really am. And a lot of times it's hard with just like having an Instagram account or just being, you know, a normal person walking around a college campus. It's really hard to look around and be like, oh, I know their story, I know their story, I know their story, because you don't. Because human beings are such internal people, and we have the ability, unlike a lot of other species, we have the ability to lock things inside of us and bottle things up and not tell people about what's going on with us. It's kind of a luxury in some cases, because if you're really going through a hard time and you don't want people to know for whatever reason, it's kind of relatively easy to do that. But in other cases it kind of sucks because, you know, a lot of times it's necessary to get those toxic things, those toxic feelings out of yourself. You know, purge yourself of those feelings and just get your, you know, get your shit together, for lack of a better phrase. So yeah, today's video is me just talking about what phase I am at in my life. So right now, at this point in my life, I am 19 3/4, turning 20 on the 27th of October, which is actually very quickly approaching. So I'm ending my last year of teenagerdom. Right now, now at 19 3/4, I am experiencing an I don't know period of my life, which is kind of tricky because it's actually hard to explain the I don't know phase because, you know, someone asks me, what is the I don't know phase? I'm just going to say, I don't know. It's basically one of those phases in your life when you don't have a solid answer for anything. You don't really know how you're feeling. You don't really know what you want to do with your life. You don't really know anything for that matter. So I'm experiencing one of those phases right now in my life where I'm just so out of it all the time. Like, I don't know what I want, I don't know how to respond to things, and I'm walking on eggshells around everyone I know because I'm just so afraid of disappointing people or upsetting people, and I don't know where to go with my life because I feel like I'm in this amazing pivotal position where I can excel and just be so good at what I'm doing, or I can just completely, you know, go backwards. And I'm just so deathly afraid that right now, where I am right now at 19 3/4 is my peak, and I'm just gonna go down. That is a sum up of what is going on in here right now. It's the I don't know period. I'm in the I don't know period. This all kind of dawned on me about 72 hours ago when I was in the Boston airport. For whatever reason that is completely beyond me, I had a 4-hour delay. 4 freaking hours in the Boston airport. And, you know, not against anyone who's from Boston, but the airport freaking sucks in Boston. I went through like 7 magazines and almost 2 books just sitting here by myself for 4 hours with literally nothing to do. I was tired. I'd gone to 5 different cities to speak this week about various things, and I was just a mess of emotions. And it wasn't for any particular reason, to be honest. I was just distraught about something that I can't even put my finger on, and I was just so, like, ugh, like frustrated and sad at the same time, and I was experiencing the I don't know. There was one point where I left to go to the bathroom, literally standing in the mirror, just sobbing. And if anyone were to ask me, any perfect stranger who didn't, because obviously people see a crying girl and they're gonna run in the other direction, but if someone were to ask me what was wrong, I literally, kid you not, I would have said, I don't know. And I feel like so many of us are in that I don't know phase of our life, and we're told by other people that we're not allowed to feel like that we're not allowed to feel confused and sad and frustrated because there's just no time for that. You know, we've got to power through. We got to get our degrees, we have to get our careers, we have to get our star-studded internships, we have to do this, we have to do that, and we're not allowed to have those feelings and those phases where we're like, I don't know. The world does not stop for anyone. We can't ask it to pause for a second or, you know, hold on 1 second. It doesn't do that. It does not grant anyone that luxury of just having a second to breathe. And that is what sucks. And that is how I'm feeling right now. The world wants us to fake it. The world wants us to, you know, disregard those feelings and kind of just like swallow them back down inside of us and not feel them. They want us to fake this like persona of perfection, that we have it all together. And if you fake it the best, you get the best jobs, you get the best internships, you get the best family, you get the best babies and the best life if you fake it. And that is messed up. The only thing that I'm semi-sure about in my life right now is my Instagram feed, and that is pretty sad. I don't know. I don't know how I do this. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how any of us freaking do this thing called life, because it is really hard and it is really messed up 90% of the time. You know, I'm in one of those phases that I like to call the I don't know phase, and it is tearing me apart. And I'm sure it's tearing you apart too. My theory about this whole thing is that it's a phase and nothing more than a phase. And it's so weird because, you know, we go through phases all the time. I went through the bang phase where I had this horrible bang haircut, and it lasted like 2 years because my hair grows so slow, or it did, not anymore, I don't know why, now it grows like a weed, but back in the day, I had this phase where I had these bangs, and I feel like I was a different person because of the bangs. I had a Pokemon phase where all I would do was do Pokemon trading cards, and I had binders full of Pokemon trading cards, and, you know, we go through all these phases, and I think this is just one of those phases. You know, my mom says it's like a teenage angst phase, and like I'll, you know, go through it and be done with it. And, you know, as I'm approaching my 20th birthday, which marks my last year has finished of being a teenager, it's just weird. You know, is this a phase? You know, am I gonna go on to another phase? And what is the next phase? I'm scared. You know, what is the next phase gonna be, and can I prepare myself for it? My theory is you grow up, you get lost, you mess around a little bit, you go one place, turn around, go the next place, but then eventually you're gonna get it all together. It's inevitable that all the pieces will fit together eventually. You know, it's all about just having the patience to put together that puzzle and know that, you know, some of the pieces aren't going to fit in the right way and you can't force it. You break down, you crack open, you let things in, you let life happen, because life is a crazy beast and you have to just let it run its course and do its thing, and the phases will happen. I don't know what I want to do with my life, and I don't know if or when I will. You know, I'm just kind of going crazy. I'm going bonkers at that because, you know, all these people around me seem to know what they're doing, and, you know, the thing is though, they're faking it. Even the people that think that they know what they're doing don't actually know what they're doing. They're kind of just, you know, crossing their fingers and hoping for the best and taking a leap, which is so admirable. That's what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to, you know, run through life with my eyes closed and my hands behind my back, just kind of letting things come at me. That's honestly a very admirable thing, and I'm gonna hope that as a 20-year-old, I'll be able to run blindly into life and let things happen. And I'm not sure if this video has been at all, you know, intelligible. I don't know if you guys even grasp a single thing I've been saying, but life is crazy, and please just know that you are not alone. Not even a sliver of loneliness lives inside of you, because you and I, we are the same. I feel like our generation has made this world so twisted, you know, so brilliant with all these new inventions and innovations, but so twisted because we've become, you know, not only the millennial generation, we've become the what filter can I use to make my butt look smaller generation. Whew, I don't know if I'm like just an anxious person and I just like think about all these things that aren't real and I'm making up things in my mind. But regardless, we need to just come to terms with ourselves as human beings and truly, truly think, am I faking it? I don't want people to look at me and think of me as someone who's not me, because then my whole life is a sham. My whole life is a lie, because, you know, I want to be a person. I want to be that girl people look at and think she has been herself the whole time. She's been living herself the way that she wants people to see her. And I think that's how we should all live our lives. Most of our thoughts as human beings are not ours. They're often rented from society. We get these thoughts like stuffed into our brains, you know, like pushed into our brains like chocolate into a pastry, and we don't have a chance to think about things on our own a lot of times. And, you know, I want to break that. I want my thoughts to be 100% my own and not something that I, you know, just rent or borrow from society. You know, we are constantly fed these things all through our life that we need to think about. You know, be the best version of yourself, blah, 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 which is great, which is a great sentiment. But, you know, I think that it's time that we think things for ourselves. And I think that is why I am so hung up on the idea of being in a confused phase in my life, because I've been told that I always have to be together. I've been told that I need to be professional, I need to be a good listener, I need to be honest, I need to be truthful, I need to be driven, I need to be constantly energized, I need to get a full night's sleep, I need to do this, I need to do that. And, you know, why is it that when I break that mold, when I go on 11 airplanes and I travel and I, you know, disregard my schoolwork for a week, why do I feel guilty about that? You know, that's what's going on in here right now. And, you know, my philosophy is, it is okay. And I actually have a sign above my bed back in my dorm that says it's okay. Because, you know, I feel like I'm a very anxious person. It's just how I'm built, it's how I am. You know, I'm constantly thinking, always freaking thinking. My brain does not shut off. And, you know, sometimes I overthink things and I just, you know, think the worst. And I, you know, manufacture this idea in my head that, you know, my life is going to ruin and things seem great right now, but they won't be down the road. And I am such a futuristic thinker, and sometimes that bites me in the ass because, you know, I think too much. And sometimes when you're getting in this mood where you just think too much and you are so obsessed with the idea of getting your life together and faking it for society, you need to sit down and just think and just reassure yourself that it is okay. It's okay to take the day off. It's okay to, you know, not go to school for a day, walk around your city and just take things in. It's okay to just drive until you can't drive no more and just, you know, take time for yourself, because you need that time by yourself and you need that time to think and just feel. Because life is going 1,000 miles a minute, and a lot of times, you know, we just want so badly for it to slow down, but it can't and it won't. You know, we have to slow down because the world isn't going to do it, so we have to do that for ourselves, because we owe that to ourselves to stop and give, you know, us a chance to just think and feel. And that is my philosophy about life. That's my philosophy, and that is what I'm going through right now. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, my biggest fear, other than not living an extraordinary life, is living a life where you guys think that I have no flaws and that I am perfect. As you guys can probably gather from this jumbled mess of a video, my life is not perfect. No, to be frank, I don't have many things together, but that is why I think my life is so beautiful, because I am still a work in progress. So yeah, that is what I have gathered the past couple of weeks about my life. So I don't know if any of this video made sense at all, but basically what I'm going to leave you guys with is, it's okay to not be okay. Stop faking it. Stop faking that you're okay, because that will just dig you into a deeper hole. Let people be there for you, but also let yourself be there for you. Like, the world doesn't stop, but you can take a break. You know, you can take a day off. It's not a sin, it's not a crime. The world will still be moving, but you'll come back a bigger and better version of yourself the next day. So yes, my friends, that was my video. I hope you guys all enjoyed and weren't too confused or lost this entire time, because, you know, that's kind of how I roll with these sort of videos. I feel like when I'm filming it, it's just like all these thoughts just swirling around and coming out of my mouth like word vomit. But hopefully on your end, things will sort of make sense. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys all in my next one. Bye!